hero or a hate crime?
Yeah. It's an important question.
Yeah, so take me through the events that happened, Chris.
Like,
because I usually do it.
In the event in question?
Yes.
Okay. So, it's Charlie and Mac that are walking down the street, right?
Just enjoying a walk.
Yeah, they're just enjoying a walk, and Charlie sees Charlie sees the perfect dog turd.
Yeah. He's like, oh, look, some dog shit. Steps in it.
Yeah, steps in it purposely.
But
meanwhile,
denies it.
Denies stepping in it purposely, yes. Meanwhile, Frank is using mirrors on the toes of his shoes to
old school.
To look up girls' skirts. And what was Dennis doing?
He was walking out of the store with like a bottle of champagne.
Yeah.
And he bumps into Dee, who's reading a physician's textbook.
Yeah.
And she drops her purse, and a lottery ticket flies out.
Yeah.
And Mac goes to pick it up.
Yeah, because it flies across the street.
Yeah,
and lands.
And they all happen to be like on the same street.
In the same block, yeah.
Right.
And Mac stops to pick the lottery ticket up. Meanwhile, Charlie's still a little ways back with the dog shit on his foot. And Dennis and Dee and Frank all see that
there's a piano, yeah, that they're trying to
it's a cartoon
that only happens in movies.
It's a cartoon situation like crazy, but this piano is being tethered by somebody with a pulley, and it snaps, and it's about to fall on Mac.
And Frank yells, "Hey, look out, faggot!"
and Mac looks directly to him, and Charlie looks up, sees the piano, and fucking drop kicks Mac out of the way
with his shit foot.
With the shit foot, so that he is not crushed by the piano.
And then we fast forward,
and then
to...
the question then becomes:
was that a hero or a hate crime? Was Frank a hero, or did he commit a hate crime?
Yeah.
And so the episode after the main credits roll, they're in arbitration.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out who has ownership of this $2 lottery ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Which it's like, why is that even an issue?
It's like 6 weeks old. It's like a 6-week-old scratcher lottery ticket, $2 that Dee had bought apparently 6 weeks prior and had never scratched because it's hope.
Right. And you know, the majority of this episode takes place in this arbitration office
with 3 different arbitrators.
Right. The first one, he's like, you know, we're going to treat each other civilly and all this stuff. And they're like, next.
No.
Let's get a new one.
So then they go to the black lady, right?
Yeah, and that's who...
And the black lady listens to the majority of the story.
Yeah, that's who we get to see the most on this episode. And basically, you know, they're trying to each present their case as to why the lottery ticket should go to them.
Yeah.
So Dee is like, hey, I bought the damn ticket.
Yeah.
You know, open and shut case. It was mine. But we later find out that Dee is poor. Yeah. I guess.
And Dennis has a thing for the convenience store clerk.
Right, the convenience store clerk.
Up to the day in question had been underage.
Under 21.
Under 21, yes.
She was not under 18, though. And I want to make that clear because they keep talking about how creepy that is. But he had only been, like, pursuing her, or basically he's been giving Dee money to get coffee and then giving her extra money to tip this girl and making her say, this is from my boss, Dennis.
Yeah.
And turns out that she hadn't been giving the money and that she'd been buying like snacks and cigarettes and all that kind of stuff and lottery tickets with the extra cash. His purpose for giving her the tip, though, is that he's like, you know, I'm making small deposits, small investments over the time she's been 18 to the time she's 21.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to make a massive withdrawal. And they're all like, oh, dude, that's so super creepy. But I mean, she was over 18.
She was
when he started that. He never said that he was giving her money before, like when she was 16 or 17. So I mean, I understand. Yeah, it may be a little creepy. And personally, I don't date girls under 21 and haven't in a long fucking time.
Yeah.
In fact, you know, here's an interesting factoid about me. When I was like 19, I dated like 3 girls in a row that were all 28. It was weird.
Nah, it is a little weird.
And it wasn't like on purpose. I wasn't like, are you 28? Well,
let's
rocks,
go.
No, it was just, it just happened. And I don't know. I'm 11 years older than my girlfriend right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm in my 30s. So she's still, you know, good to go. She's not underage either. And she's more than old enough to drink. So anyway.
Yeah. All right. So that was Dennis's reasoning for wanting the ticket, that it was his money that she had bought the ticket with.
Right.
Which was incidentally also why he had that champagne bottle.
Yeah, because he was going to like present it to her.
Yeah.
Now, Mac, his only real reasoning for wanting the ticket was that he just found it.
Yeah.
Right?
He
didn't really have
and picked it up.
anything to say other than that. But Frank thought it should go to him because he saved Mac's life.
Yeah.
By yelling, "Hey, look out, faggot."
Yeah. And Charlie's reasoning was that he was the specifically the one that drop kicked Mac out of the way.
Right.
He literally saved his life.
And he brought up in the arbitration that he stepped in the dog shit purposely. And the reason he did that was to cover up the skunk smell, and because he let himself get sprayed by a skunk. And the reason he let himself get sprayed by a skunk was to cover up the cologne smell. And the reason he was using the cologne was to cover up the smell of cigarettes, because he didn't want people to find out he was smoking for some reason.
Well, and the reason that he had started smoking, or was it because that he was just hanging around?
He's been smoking with D. He's like, I've been smoking with D.
Yeah.
And maybe she hadn't been wanting them to know that she was smoking or
well,
something.
Well, yeah, because that was a big like point of interest, is that with
she had money for cigarettes.
Yeah, with one of the first two arbitrators, she had pulled out the pack of cigarettes and started smoking.
And they all end up smoking.
And at the end of the episode, even every single one of them is smoking.
Yeah. So Mac says Frank shouldn't be getting any of the money because of what he said, because he called Mac a faggot.
Yeah.
And Frank's like, I use the word all the time. It doesn't mean anything. And he's like, and I said, look, I used the word because I knew that would make Mac look up.
Yeah.
And which he did. And he goes, not only did Mac look up, but Charlie knew to look at him. Dee and Dennis knew to look at him. And even the little boy on the street with the balloons knew to look at him when I said, hey, look out, faggot. And Max is like, I'm very offended by that. A faggot means bundle of sticks, and they used to burn gay people on bundles of sticks, and that's where the name came from. So you're implying that you should be burning gay people alive. Mm-hmm. And they all kind of had this like small like moment of clarity when he said that. They're like, oh, and they almost looked remorseful. And then they start talking about other offensive words.
Yeah,
and they're talking about D, and she's like, well, you have to give up your favorite word. And she's like, what, cocksucker? And then Matt goes, I'm offended that you would think sucking cocks would be offensive. And she's like, hey, half the people suck cock.
50%.
50% of people suck cock, and the other 50 get their cock sucked. What's wrong with being called a cocksucker? You can't argue with that logic.
No, honestly. I mean, legitimately.
Right. And then Frank drops the C-bomb.
Yeah.
He's like, I love the word cunt, which... honestly, the cocksucker thing and saying shit, but cunt is what really surprised me in this episode, that they're really trying to push the envelope here and push the boundaries of what they can get away with on fucking broadcast television. Yeah. Sure, it's cable. It's not like network television, but I was like, damn. They went there.
Yeah.
They said it.
No, and I had DVR'd the episode. So that I was surprised when I watched it, and that was completely unedited.
Unedited cunts on FXX.
Yep.
So,
and you said they dropped an F-bomb. I didn't remember the F-bomb.
They did. And we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, I think, in today's society, a lot more people find the word cunt more offensive than they do the word fuck.
Almost every single person I know hates that word.
I love that word.
I don't care about it. I have no strong feelings either way about that word.
See you next Tuesday.
Yep.
So anyway, the arbitrator's like, wait a second, Mac, you're not gay? And he's like, no, of course I'm not. And then they're like, well, we found the bike.
What about the bike?
What about the? I don't have nothing to hide. What about the bike? So Dennis goes.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, Dennis goes and gets the bike, and it's this bike that has like a dildo that like comes up and down out of the seat area. And if you remember in the very first of the episode, Mac's like walking funny.
I did not.
Yeah, and my girlfriend and I were watching it, and I was like, he got fucked in the ass. And she's like, don't spoil it for me. I was like, I never read any spoilers. I'm just assuming because it's Mac. And it's got like a little fist on top of the dildo. And they're like, it's a giant penis. He's like, no, it's a fist. He's like, I call it, what is it, the ass pounder?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ass pounder 5,000 or something silly like that. And he's like, no, it's like, when you're going up a hill and you're wanting to give up and rest, it just, it pounds you in the ass and gets you back up, And he's just like totally like, how do you guys not see this? This isn't anything gay. How would you ever even assume that this was something gay? But of course, it's pretty fucking gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Of course
Chris.
not.
And if you're gay and you're listening to this, hey, I support you.
Yeah.
Fucking
the Dork Age podcast.
Yeah, I'm all about equal rights for everyone.
Exactly.
Which we'll talk about later on.
Yeah,
in this
we
episode.
will. Yeah, we will.
But so basically, the arbitrator, she gets ready to make her case, and she's like, I'm going to do this with using like the facts and compromise and all that stuff, and all of a sudden,
and they're like,
cut to another arbitrator, which is great because they they're so cutthroat.
Yeah.
But then the arbitrator, basically the new arbitrator, she's settled the case, and she decides that the ticket should be split between Mac and Frank because Frank's did save his life, and because Mac isn't gay, it can't be a hate crime against him.
Yes.
And then Mac is like, wait a second, if I was gay,
it would all be mine.
And she's like, well, yeah, okay, I'm gay.
And everybody's like, wait, no, he's just gonna
go back in the closet.
Yeah,
after this is all over.
He's not gonna stay gay.
Right.
He's gonna say it so that he gets the ticket, and then he's immediately gonna renounce it.
And we should mention that in the cruise ship episode,
the final 2 episodes of
Mac
last
did
season,
admit that he was gay.
Yes, he did.
He totally admitted it.
Mm-hmm. And he stayed gay for almost an entire episode's length of time.
So the precedent has been set that he has actually said the words, I'm gay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so he decides that he's gay, and he gets the whole ticket and scratches it off, and lo and behold,
$10,000
winner. So he takes it, and they're like, oh, so you're going to go back in the closet now? And he says, no, I'm not. I'm going to stay out of the closet.
Mac is gay.
Mac is officially gay as of this episode. Now, what's going to happen in the next one?
Of course.
Who knows?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's going to be another 2-parter or whatever. But as of right now, Mac is gay as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And takes his bike and goes out of there. And then the arbitrator hands them the bill. It's like $9,986.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, it was Mac's idea to pay to get an arbitrator, so we'll just make him pay it. He's got the money.
Mm-hmm.
And then they make the joke, oh, he came out over a $14 ticket. So that's pretty much the episode. It was really funny, and I think it was in the scene that he brought up the bike and was demonstrating it that Dee says, oh, so you're just fucking yourself in the ass with this bike. She actually dropped the F-bomb.
I do remember that.
So it said cunt, faggot, shit, and fuck in this episode.
Yeah, it was,
and they got away with it.
It was not bleeped out, but like dropped out on my DVR.
Well, I didn't notice it. I might have to go back and watch, but
like I totally, like, as soon as you said that line, I was like, yeah, no, I do remember her saying that, but I remember that it was dropped, like the audio of her saying it was dropped.
Right, but I don't recall an episode of Always Sunny that had that much cursing in it.
No.
And this would be the one segment that has had so much cursing in it as well. Because I've never said the F word. I've said fuck, but I've never said the other F word.
Oh, yeah.
And
you'll notice I still have not said that word.
Well, I mean, we're saying it because it's in context of the show. And if you want to get mad at us for saying things that were said in the show, then this probably isn't a podcast that you should be listening to.
Yeah, maybe.
Right?
I'm still not going to say the other F word, though.
The other white meat.
Yeah.
All right. So what did you guys think of the episode? Let us know in the comments below. Do you think we're right? Do you think I was right to say faggot in this segment because I was just quoting what was said in the episode?
Yeah.
Let us know.
That's an interesting philosophical question.
And if you get pissed off by this segment, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. And in the end, do go fuck yourself.